Hey y'all, today we're going to get some stitch braids done. Okay, before we get started, I want to go over a couple things that people have issues with when they are doing their stitch braids. The first thing is people are telling you guys that you aren't able to put jam going down your part to clean things up. You can use jam, just make sure that you moisturize the client's hair beforehand. That way it is not applying to you. When it comes down to you, won't be able to effectively moisturize their hair because that's what they're telling you that for. So just do that ahead of time and you won't even have to worry about it because the jam is helpful when you guys are cleaning those parts up. See, look how pretty that came out. We wouldn't have been able to get it like that without the jam on there. And she was fully moisturized before we got started. Then you want to go through and apply jam to the outside from the part going up to the hair. And then you want to also do it down the middle. This doesn't have to be perfect. As you see me, I'm just throwing it in there. It does not have to be perfect. Then you want to smooth it down and do it from the part that you have up to the hair. And you want to do the same thing for the other side. The goal is to smooth it to the middle. Some people feel more comfortable with a part straight down the middle, so that way they stay in the middle of the braid, of the parted area that they made. Or you can smooth it to where, see how that fits in the middle of wherever you're going to be braiding. So the person's braid is slanted off to the side and things like that. Okay, now before you guys get ready to go, make sure that the hair is going in the direction that you plan on sliding the hair into the braid. If it's going slanted backwards, that hair is not going to look cute in the braid. So just make sure that it's secure, going straight into the area that you want it to. Now your front section, you want to make sure you have enough hair, not so much that it's a big section in front, but not too little that it can snatch their hair. Here, don't worry about me going too fast. I am going to do another one where I'm going slower to show you guys the actual technique, but right now I am focusing on things that people do wrong. When you're doing curves, remember to actually grab more for the wider side and less for the smaller side. So to my left, that one is actually curving more, so it's like a little section that I would grab of hair there. But the wider section of the head, which is to my right, I would grab more hair in that instance. So this is going to help me curve the braid, but help it where it goes into angles smoothly. Then you also want to make sure you are combing out the hair when you get too much hair in your hands. This is going to help the braid come out smooth as you are going through. You want to keep a smooth look when you're working with natural hair. You don't want the braids to look frizzy, and this is how you do it. Just comb with a little bit of jam. All right, so now this one is going to be real time and slower. This is what I meant before by making sure you're combing in the direction that you want the braid to go. You don't want to comb that section back. You're combing to the middle of where you want the hair to go. So this is my start area. You're going to have 3 sections when you do your start area. You want to keep those as even as possible so that way you can stay in the middle of the braid, and on top of that, that way it's even structure and tension on the hair so it doesn't rip their hair out. So originally I was going to go for that top section, but that section had more hair. So what I'm going to do is grab for a smaller part and then even it out to that section there. So this way, when this braid curves around her ear, it is going to curve smoothly without folding over. That's usually why people have a hard time with their curved braids. Their braids fold down because they don't have enough hair in that top section for the wider part of the braid. So that's what I am doing here. I'm doing it slow. So when you do it, grab from the outside, slide it in, and the same for the other one. Outside, slide it in. When you guys are braiding for that part to overlap your braids, to overlap your strands, make sure you're smoothing it so that way it tucks under and it doesn't leave a lopsided part on the side of your stitch braid. So when you part, smooth it in, and then smooth when you crisscross. Smaller section around the tighter part of the curve, wider section on the wider part of the curve. So right now on this one, we're doing the opposite side. So my right side is my smaller section, and then my left side is the wider part of the head, so it's the wider section. And that keeps your braid from curving and turning down when you guys are doing side braids or anything that you want to be straight and you want it to be flat on the head and not tip over. You're going to follow this same thing all the way down till you guys get to the back area. I'm going to show you something else to help you with getting around the nape without having any issues for tension in the lower back. Okay, as you guys get past the ear and past your curving part where it's getting ready to go straight again, you want to widen those sections up that you are grabbing again. That way they are now even going straight back to the back of the head. When you guys get ready to do that lower nape section, if you have more hair in that lower nape section that you grab to pull into the braid, it will make it where that doesn't create pustules in the lower nape. If you have smaller sections that you grab, it ends up creating more pustules. So here I'm showing you where I'm about to get close, where instead of that splitting that, I just grab the whole thing and then tuck it under. It makes it where that braid can now move on her lower nape, and then you don't have to worry about it pulling and tugging back there. So she can lift it, move it, pull it to the side, however she wants to do with her braids. This is also done with braids where you have hair added as well. So that way it keeps it where they can move that braid. You see how I'm moving it and it's not attached to that very low part of her head, so it won't create bumps there. And this is the finished look.